Gareth Cable from Empire Wealth again. Hope you're well. We're really lucky today. We've got Jerome from Domus Holmes. He's a buyer's agent who specialises in helping people that are either looking to purchase their home or potentially an investment property. Hi, Jerome. Thanks for making it. Yeah. Do you mind telling us a little bit about what a buyer's agent does for somebody who might either want to be buying their first home in the UK?
Buying agents, by definition, are assisting home buyers or investors with the search and the acquisition of a property, residential or commercial, across the UK, by definition. One thing that is very important to note is in the UK, estate agent or listing agent represent the sellers and have a fiduciary duty towards the sellers, not the buyer. They are mandated by the seller. Therefore, they can provide advice to buyers, but to a certain extent. And one thing that any buyer needs to ask themselves is, who has my best interest at heart? And only a buying agent does this, because they act purely, exclusively on behalf of a buyer. They don't share their fees with estate agent, selling agent. They are very transparent who they deal with. And buying agent assists you, any buyer, with the navigation towards the complexity of dealing with estate agent, looking for property, negotiating, and overseeing also the complete conversation.
If somebody comes to you and they say, I'm ready to buy my first home, what are some of the things that you go through that maybe they might not consider rather than just logging on to Rightmove or Zoopla?
Well, the first thing, we need to make sure the client is really ready. So finance is an important fact. Do they have a mortgage approved in principle? Are they buying cash? What is the route of funding? It needs to be determined and decided. The next thing is appointing a good solicitor. Some clients come to us with already one in mind. Some prefer to get a recommendation. We can assist with that. Also, the tax implications are very important, especially for overseas buyers. If you're not based in the UK, you need to speak to an accountant and to understand the tax implication for the type of property you will be buying, depending on your prime residence, your nationality, your tax regime, etc., etc.
Clients get a level of protection by going through you compared to if they just did it themselves?
Yes. Firstly, buying agents in the UK are regulated like estate agents. So whoever you decide to appoint as a buying agent, please make sure they are part of a property redress scheme, like the property ombudsman. You should be able to find the details, usually on their homepage, like us. Also, buying agents, because of a level of regulation, have to carry out anti-money laundering checks as well. So we are very, very much regulated. And this offers an extra level of protection for clients seeking our services.
Right, brilliant. So as part of your role, you'll check to see whether or not maybe there's like different rules or regulations from a council about what you can or can't do. What are some of the other things that you've found in your experience where maybe your average mum and dad might miss when they would try and purchase a property?
I think with lots of people, they love the charm of a period property. And in the UK, we've got plenty of grade 1 and grade 2 listed properties. They are beautiful properties. But when you buy a property like that, you become a custodian of the property. And there could be implication if you're looking to knock down some walls to extend the property, for example. And these are important implications where a buying agent can assist, again, by introducing architects and planning consultants to assist to make it possible. And more often than not, when we carry out the due diligence on a property and before we make an offer, we do engage those services professionals to get a good assessment if it's possible or not to make the property the right one for you. So it's very important, again, and I can't stress enough the importance for a buying agent to assist with every single things. It could be also when you're buying countryside home with a few acres of land and you want to build an annex towards the end. They can be covenant or restriction. So we will look at the title as well. It's a very, very much in-depth examination and forensic inspection of everything related to a property.
What would you say is one of the best examples of value that you've been able to provide for a client through your services?
What is interesting is when we sometimes speak to slightly skeptical clients about engaging a buying agent, I always ask them, how much do you value your time? How busy you are at the moment? And start thinking of, for example, if you're a London professional, how much time it will take you to go to Bristol to view a property, the number of phone calls you will have also to make to the agents before you secure a viewing. And then realizing once you're at the property, it's already sold or it's not the right one for you, you've basically wasted half a day, if not a day, of your time, which could have been dedicated to manage your business or for other things family related. So I think that's an important factor. Time poor, busy people do value the services of a buying agent. And also we reduce the stress and the demand on your time. And buying a property is a major life decision. It's usually one of your most expensive decisions in your life. And it's very stressful. It's a roller coaster. And it can be very emotional. By using a buying agent, you remove yourself from that risk of becoming too emotional and not make the right decision, pay above the guide price, etc., etc. So we suck up on all the stress like a sponge and try to keep, a sort of a cool-headed view, not to mention the complexity of a transaction, because offering on a property is one thing, but then the other conveyancing process with the chains that happen in the UK are very stressful. We deal with that a lot, having to deal with multiple solicitors at the same time and angry estate agent as well. It's, this is what we do as well.
Now, if somebody's looking to purchase a buy-to-let property, can you talk us through something that that they need to consider or maybe engage with somebody such as yourself when it comes to buy-to-let?
I think with buy-to-let, there's way more elements that needs to be discussed than buying a home. Buying a home is fairly simple once you've identified what you want, where you want to live, the sort of lifestyle. With a buy-to-let, you need to look at the return on investment, the yield. What are your investment criteria? How long do you intend to keep the purchase for? What is the sort of audience for residential property? Do you want to rent it to professional couple or students or run an HMO? They all come with different level of implication, different costs, and also different tax implication as well. Therefore, going a little bit backwards, one thing that needs to be discussed is the route of funding. Again, the other element that needs to be discussed at length is the tax implication and the structuring, limited company versus in your own name, etc., etc. And once we've got the answer to all those questions, then we can narrow down to the location, the type of property with the pros, the cons of each, etc., etc., and guide gradually the clients to make a decision before we kick off the search.
Fantastic. Okay. And then likewise, are you able to help when it comes to commercial properties?
Yeah. Yes, we do. We have assisted many residential buy-to-let investors transitioning into commercial or mixed use. We can also assist with land for redevelopment if needs to be. It's a bit more complex as a ball game because you need really to understand planning. When looking at a commercial property, let's say like an industrial warehouse, again, there's an additional complexity and the buyer needs to educate themselves. A standard residential rental AST agreement is probably 7-8 pages. A lease on a commercial property will be 40 pages, and you need to have a good commercial solicitor appointed to assist you, but you will need also to really understand the different clauses, any restriction, etc., and the terms of the lease, because it's a much more complex ballgame. But again, we're here to assist people with that regard.
Fantastic. Excellent. Thank you so much for your time today, Jerome. Really helpful. And I look forward to speaking with you again soon. Thanks again.
All right. Cheers. Bye-bye.